Hola, ¿cómo están? Here we are talking about Peru, and we're talking about cómo vivimos. How do we live? So last week we were talking about la ropa y los colores, clothes and colors, and now we're talking about la ciudad. We've been looking at words and deciding whether or not they are boy words or girl words, and usually we look for O's and A's at the end of the word. Now look at this word, ciudad. Ciudad means city, but it doesn't end with an O or an A. Can we tell? Is it a boy word or a girl word? It's a girl word. How did I know? I'm looking at the word la ciudad. If it were a boy word, it would say el ciudad. So sometimes it's a little tricky to figure out, but usually there's a way that we can tell. Okay, we look for words like la or el if words don't end with O's or A's, like la ciudad, the city. So look at this little rhyme. It says, Caballito blanco, llévame de aquí. Llévame hasta el pueblo donde yo nací. Means, little white horse, take me away from here. Take me to the town where I was born. Okay, notice that we have the word caballito, boy word or girl word. It's a boy word, and we have to make the next word agree with it. Remember that we have to make the match. So caballito blanco. Okay, so let's talk about places in la ciudad. ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres tú? That question means, where are you from? ¿De dónde eres tú? This girl says, Hola, yo me llamo Ana. Yo soy de Arequipa. And Kate says, Yo soy de Chicago. So the way that we say I am from, we say yo soy de. Don't forget to put that word de in there, because if Kate said yo soy Chicago, that means I am Chicago. We don't want to say I am Chicago. We want to say I am from Chicago. So don't forget that little word de. Yo soy de. So our friend at the top, Ana, is from Arequipa, a city in Peru, and Kate is from Chicago, a city in the United States. So if I ask, ¿De dónde eres tú? The answer is, Yo soy de. So if you asked me, ¿De dónde eres tú? I would tell you, Yo soy de North Providence. So I'm going to ask you, ¿De dónde eres tú? You say, Yo soy de, and tell me where you're from. Yo soy de. Excelente. La ciudad blanca. See how we changed the word blanco? Remember we had a caballito blanco, the white horse? Now it's la ciudad blanca. We have to change it to an A because we figured out the word ciudad is a girl word. And we know that because of the word la. La ciudad blanca. Arequipa es la ciudad blanca. Arequipa is the white city. Can you tell why? Kate's going to tell you. La ciudad tiene casas y edificios. Casas are houses. The city has houses and buildings. Edificios, buildings. And what color do you think all the houses in the buildings are, or most of the houses in the buildings? They're almost all white. So they call it la ciudad blanca. Arequipa es la ciudad blanca. La ciudad tiene casas y edificios. Let's look at that word casa. Is it a boy word or a girl word? It's a girl word. It ends with A. The word house is a girl word, but we made it plural, more than one, by adding an S to the end. La ciudad tiene casas. How about the word edificio, building? Is that a boy word or a girl word? It's a boy word. It ends with O, but remember that we make it plural by adding the S to the end. La ciudad tiene casas y edificios. Perfecto. Escucha y repite. Say these words after me, por favor. Ciudad. Kind of sounds like you're saying goodbye to your father, right? Ciudad. That means city. Ciudad. Ciudad. Try this word. Casas. Try edificios. Now try saying these sentences. Ready? La ciudad tiene casas. La ciudad tiene edificios. The city has houses. The city has buildings. Casas y edificios. Muy bien. Bueno, casas y edificios. Bueno, we've talked about tres vocales. A, E, I. Remember those? Our first three vowels. A, E, I. A, E, I. Now we're going to talk about vowels that are a little bit easier. Remember that A, E, and I seemed like they were a little bit jumbled up because we said A, E, I. This next vowel is pretty easy. In English we say O, and in Spanish we say O. It's just the tiniest little bit different. In English, when I say the letter O, do you hear that there's a little bit of a W sound at the end? O, O. So my lips are kind of coming together at the end to make that W sound. W. But in Spanish, we just make our mouth the shape of the letter. So we're going to make our mouth the shape of a letter O. And instead of bringing our lips together at the end for that W kind of a sound, we're just going to do the O sound and say O, O. Can you hear a difference between O and O? O. It's just the tiniest bit different. Okay, so see if you can hear if I'm saying this in English or in Spanish. Ready? No. That was English. But how about no? That's Spanish. Hear a little bit of a difference? No, no. No, no. It's just the tiniest bit different, but it's important. So let's try saying these words. Ready? A goose is a oca. Oca. A bear is oso. Oso. An eye is ojo. Ojo. And a sheep is oveja. Oveja. Look, that one has all the vowels we've learned so far. O, e, a. O, e, a. Oveja. Oveja. Let's try them all one more time. Ready? Oca, oso, ojo, oveja. So don't forget, when we want to make something plural, we're going to add an S. So we have dos ocas. Ready? Dos ocas. Try it. Tres osos. Cuatro ojos. Cinco ovejas. Okay. So how about that word oca? Boy word or girl word? It's a girl word. How about oso? Boy word. How about ojo? Boy word. How about oveja? Girl word. Okay. So O's or A's are what we're looking for to tell us if it's a boy word or a girl word. Perfecto. Sí o no? Tell me if these words start with that O sound or not. Sí o no? This first one is a picture of the fall. In Spanish, we call the fall otoño. Otoño. Sí o no? Does that start with O? Sí, otoño. How about iguana? No. No empieza con O, empieza con I. Iguana starts with I, not O. How about oreja? Oreja. Sí, ear. Oreja starts with O. How about escalera? No. Escalera starts with E. Escalera. How about anillo? Anillo. No, doesn't start with a. It doesn't start with o, it starts with a. How about orquestra? Orquestra. Sí, that starts with a o sound. Orquestra. Orquestra. Muy bien. El volcán. Escucha y repite. We're talking about, what do you guess a volcán is? It's a volcano. How did you know? What kind of a word is that? It's a cognate. It means it looks like a word in English. It looks like the word volcano. Volcán. Volcán. ¿Cuál es el nombre del volcán? Se llama el Misti. That volcano is called el Misti. El volcán. Cognate word. El volcán. Is the word volcán a boy word or a girl word? Ends in the letter N. So that makes it a little bit tougher. We can't look for the O's or the A's. So how could we tell? Look at the word el. El volcán means it's a boy word. If it were a girl word, it would say la, like la ciudad. El volcán, the volcano. Perfecto. Ahora hablamos de la casa. Let's talk about the house, la casa. Let's look at this little rhyme. El patio de mi casa es particular. Se moja cuando llueve como los demás. So the patio of my house is particular. It's unusual. It gets wet when it rains like everything else. That's not very unusual. That's just normal. Bueno, la casa, boy word or girl word? It's a girl word, ends with A. How about el patio? That's a boy word, ends with O. So patio is a boy word, but house is a girl word. ¿Cómo es tu patio? What is your patio like? ¿Cómo es tu patio? So our friend Ana from Peru says, mi patio es pequeño. Pequeño means small. Look at how those words agree with each other. See how they match? Patio, pequeño. Patio, pequeño. They both end in O. They both have to be boy words. Mi patio es pequeño. ¿Cómo es tu patio, Julio? What's your patio like, Julio? Julio says, mi patio es grande. My patio is big. Remember when we talked about words like azul and verde? That if they don't end with O or A, we just leave it alone. It doesn't matter if it's a boy word or a girl word. The word grande is like that. We don't have to change the E at the end. It doesn't matter. If we're talking about a boy thing or a girl thing, we're still going to say grande. Mi patio es grande. ¿Y tú? ¿Tu casa tiene un patio? Does your house have a patio? ¿Cómo es tu patio? What's it like? ¿Es pequeño o es grande? Mi casa no tiene patio. My house doesn't have a patio. Bueno. ¿Dónde vives tú? Where do you live? ¿Dónde vives tú? Hola, Becky. Yo vivo en una casa. I live in a house. ¿Dónde vives tú? Where do you live? Hola, Julio. Yo vivo en un apartamento. What do you think that word means? Apartment. How did you guess it? It's a cognate word. It looks like the word in English, apartamento. Is apartamento a boy word or a girl word? It's a boy word because it ends with O. Bueno, ¿dónde vives tú? Where do you live? Yo vivo en un apartamento. I live in an apartment. ¿Dónde vives tú? Where do you live? Let's repeat these words. Casa, apartamento. So, ¿dónde vives tú? Where do you live? You would say, yo vivo en, which one? Una casa o en un apartamento? Yo vivo en un apartamento. ¿Dónde vives tú? Perfecto. Remember before we were talking about de dónde eres? Where are you from? Soy de North Providence. Yo vivo en un apartamento. I'm from North Providence and I live in an apartment. You might say, Yo soy de Providence y yo vivo en una casa. I live in Providence and I live in a house. Okay, so casa, apartamento, house, apartment. Now let's talk about our last vowel sound. So far we've talked about a, e, o, and here comes our last one. Our last one sounds a little bit like we're getting punched in the stomach. This last letter is u, u. Okay, so almost like English, but in English we say you. Do you hear that E sound at the beginning? You. In Spanish, we're just going to do that ending sound, that oo sound. Oo, oo, oo. So our 5 vowel sounds are a, e, o, u. A, e, o, u. Try saying that with me. A, e, o, u. Perfecto. So remember, it doesn't matter where those letters are in the word, they're always going to say their name. They're always going to make the sound of their name. So a always says a. If it's at the beginning of a word or next to a different letter, doesn't matter, it always says a. And u is always going to say u, never you. Okay? So here we have some grapes. Grapes are uvas. Try it. Uvas. Try uña. Uña is a fingernail. Uña. Try uno. Uno. Try unicornio. Careful with that one. That one's a cognate word, but it's hard not to say unicornio, right? Because that's how we would say it in English. Unicorn. But we don't want to say unicornio. Unicornio. Try it. Unicornio. Muy bien. Okay, this picture's down at the bottom. Tell me sí o no. Do these words start with u or not? This kind of a bird is called an urraca. Sí o no. Does that start with u? Urraca? Sí, urraca. How about, ¿qué es? Ocelote. Ocelote. That does not start with u. Ocelote starts with o. How about uniforme? This girl is wearing a uniforme. That's a cognate word. Does that start with u? Sí, uniforme. But be careful. Don't say uniforme, right? Uniforme. How about an órgano? An organ. Órgano. Does that start with u? No, that starts with o. Órgano. Órgano. Muy bien. Escucha y traza. Try repeating these words after me. Ready? Unicornio. Unicornio. Try uniforme. Uniforme. Try órgano. Órgano. Try ocelote. Ocelote. Muy bien. So those are all of our vowel sounds. So now we can read most of the words that we see in Spanish because the consonants, letters that aren't vowels, make pretty much the same sound in Spanish as they do in English. It's the vowels that are different. So listen to the first word, but I'm only going to say the vowel sounds. Listen. U, I, O, I, O. U, I, o, I, o. Unicornio. If I can get the vowel sounds right, the other letters are pretty easy to fill in. Let's look at the next one. I'm just going to say the vowel sounds. U, I, o, e. U, I, o, e. Uniforme. Okay, if I get those vowel sounds right, it's easy to put in the other sounds. Try the next one, just the vowels. O, a, o. O, a, o. Organo. O, a, o. And then try the last one. O, e, o, e. O, e, o, e. Ocelote. Ocelote. Okay, so once we have those 5 vowel sounds really good and solid, then we can read in Spanish. It's a very cool thing. Bueno, let's talk about La Casa de Julio. La Casa de Julio, Julio's house. Repiten, por favor. Say this after me. Dormitorio. Let's just do the vowels. Ready? O, I, o, I, o. O, I, o, I, o. Now try the whole thing. Dormitorio. Dormitorio. Now try it fast. Dormitorio. Dormitorio. A dormitorio is where you dormir. Dormir means sleep. So dormitorio is a bedroom. Dormitorio. Try this word. Baño. Baño, bathroom. Oh, there's another. Dormitorio. Dormitorio, 2 bedrooms. Try sala. Sala is living room. Try cocina. Cocina, kitchen. Try comedor. Comedor, dining room. Dining room. Let's talk about, are they girl words or boy words? How about the word casa? Girl word. How about dormitorio? Boy word. How about baño? Boy word. How about sala? Girl word. How about cocina? Girl word. How about comedor? Uh-oh. That one ends in R, so we can't tell. What if I told you it's el comedor? Boy word or girl word? Boy word. El comedor. Muy bien. ¿Qué tiene tu casa? What does your house have? Mi apartamento tiene 3 dormitorios, 2 baños, una sala, una cocina y un comedor. Can you tell what my apartment has? 3 dormitorios, 3 bedrooms, 2 baños, 2 bathrooms, una sala, 1 living room, una cocina, 1 kitchen, y un comedor, and a dining room. ¿Qué tiene tu casa? What does your house have? The answer is mi casa tiene. My house has. And then can you describe your house? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? Can you say it in Spanish? Excelente. Now let's look at our workbook pages. We're going to open up Abre a la página 13. Página 13, page 13. Encierra en un círculo las palabras que empiezan con O. We're going to circle the words that start with O. So, does abeja start with O? No. How about oso? Sí. How about oreja? Sí. We're going to circle that one. How about elefante? No. How about oveja? Sí. Circle oveja. How about iguana? No. That was super easy. Bueno, este es el volcán. Can you trace the letters for volcán? Don't forget to put that accent mark on the A, the little line above the A. Remember that that little line tells us to say that part of the word a little bit stronger than the other part. So we're going to say volcán. Instead of volcán, we're going to say volcán. Volcán for volcano. Remember, that's a cognate word. It looks like an English word. Can we connect the dots? Start with número uno, and we'll make a volcán. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down to the bottom of el volcán. And then you can color that picture in if you like. El volcán. El volcán. Peru has lots of volcanes. Muy bien. Next we have la página 15. This boy says, yo vivo en una casa. Julio says, yo vivo en una casa. Does he live in a house or an apartment? He lives in a house. Can we find the path from Julio down to la casa? This time there's only one path. Last time we did this, there was a couple different ways we could go. But this time there's only one path. It goes like this. To la casa. Yo vivo en una casa. But Becky down there says, yo vivo en un apartamento. Yo vivo en un apartamento. Can we get Becky up to her apartment building? It's okay if we cross the line that we made for Julio. Yo vivo en un apartamento. Here we go. Let's get Becky up there. Whoop. To el apartamento. Muy bien. And then, can we remember all the different words for the rooms in our house? A dormitorio is where we dormir, where we sleep. A dormitorio is a bedroom. What was la cocina? La cocina. The kitchen. La cocina. What was la sala? La sala. The living room. How about el baño? The bathroom. There we go. You should have two X's on our page. Dormitorio, bedroom. Cocina, kitchen. Sala, living room. Baño, bathroom. Muy bien. So we learned a lot today. We finished all of our vowel sounds. A, E, I, O, U. And we learned about parts of the house. And we learned to answer questions like ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? And ¿dónde vives? Where do you live? En una casa, in a house, o en un apartamento, or an apartment. So lots of words to practice. There are games you can play about the house, and there are songs you can listen to about rooms in the house. See if you can hear those words dormitorio, cocina, sala, baño in some of those songs. And you can make me a Flipgrid video about your house and where you live. And then I can hear you saying all those vowel sounds perfectly. A, E, I, O, and U. Muy bien. So next time, we'll finish up talking about Peru. Hasta luego. Ciao.